What's up guys, David Falla here and welcome to another tutorial. On today's video we're going to be doing a mid skin fade with a Sidepart or Combover. This is a very salon friendly haircut. It's a haircut that we get often at the barbershops. It's a haircut that a lot of barbers have problems with, and that's why I wanted to do this tutorial to show you guys how I do it, how I tailor the fade and the haircut to the client, how I create my shape, my overall shape. So we have clients that come back, clients that are super happy with their hair, and if you ever have problems like kind of like connecting the top with the sides or creating certain certain connections or for the client to be able to style his hair, I know this video is going to help you a lot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. So this is how the client looks. As you can see, he needed a haircut, but he already had a Sidepart, so we're just going to cut it kind of like following what he already has. We're going to make a little bit of adjustments, whatever we need. This is the first time that I'm cutting this client, so it's going to be super fun. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to cut the top. The reason why I like to start with the top is because I like to set up my shape. I like to see how the hair is going to lay down, how it's going to style, and then for me it's easy from there to create my connection, which is going to be with the hair round to the parietal ridge, and from there it's super easy to fade. That's the way I like to do it. That's my system. At the end of the day, when you're going to cut hair and you want to be efficient, you want to be good at it, you have to create a system for yourself, a system that is going to always work. If the system that you have only works with certain haircuts, that means that you don't fully understand your system, you don't fully understand the steps that you're taking, or you don't understand why you're taking those steps. So I know with this tutorial I'm going to show you the way I see hair, the way like I like to section hair, and it's going to help you kind of achieve the same result. It's just about understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing. So first thing I always do, I always cut the top first. So I wet the top first, separate the top from the sides, and this gives me two options. One, I actually cut the top first, or what I can do, I can create my connection. I can create what's going to be called like your structure on the sides, or what's going to be your block graduation. This is the connection that connects the top with the sides and the sides with the bottom, right? With the fade. So I have many options once I already know what I'm doing, and also like once I separate the top from the sides, I'm going to be able to see where my cowlicks are, where the swirl is. So I'm going to be able to separate that and cut in the direction the hair wants to go, instead of just cutting everywhere and then having hair spiking up everywhere, right? So what I'm doing right now, I'm going super easy, super simple. I'm just creating a section in the front, grabbing a section in the front, seeing how much I want to cut, and then I'm following that section to the next one, all the way to the back. Once I have that done, then I move to the panel on the sides, on either side, and I'm going to create a square shape. That means I'm just going to pull all the hair 90 degrees from the floor to make sure it's all even. That's literally all I'm doing. I cut everything up 90 degrees from the floor, making sure I create a nice straight line, and that's it. Super simple, super easy, something that might take you 5 minutes. Most likely it's going to take you longer to section the hair than to actually cut it, right? We just gotta make sure we take in small sections, we never loosen our guide, and we are creating exactly what we want to create, right? Once that's done, I'm gonna dry the hair. I don't have to fully dry it. All I gotta do is to dry enough so I have a shape. I see exactly how the hair is gonna lay down, and the client can start seeing how the haircut looks. This is a great time to ask the client if the top is good or is it too long. So if he wants a little bit shorter, this is the perfect time. But at the end of the day, if you do your consultation correctly, you're not gonna have to go back to correct or cut it shorter, because this information is the reason why a good consultation is so extremely important. So right now what we're going to do, we're going to use a number 3 with the lever open to start creating our fade. This is just going to clean the canvas to make sure that everything is all the bulk is removed, to make it easier for us to place a skin line. This is something very important, something that you need to do. Why a number 3? The reason for a number 3 is because for me it's easy to use the number 3 all the way straight on the sides, so I don't go in and I don't cut what I don't need to cut. So a number 3 is a great guide for me. Also, if I need to connect the top with the sides, I can use a number 3 because my fingers are a number 3. So that's the reason why. So now what we're going to do, we're going to create that mid skin fade. We're going to create our guide, and what we're going to do is using exactly dividing the head in half and see where that line will be. If you think that it's going to be too high, then you do a little bit lower, and you also want to create that nice shape that is going to, that fade that is going to follow the head shape, right? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I created a fade that is going to be a little bit higher in the front but lower in the back to complement the client's head, and on the back to create a little bit more depth. That's exactly why I'm doing it a little bit shorter. So once I create that, I'm going to be using my electro shaver. Obviously I remove all the hair and then I'm using my electro shaver. The trick with the electro shaver is to, on the bottom, don't allow like to put a lot of pressure, you know, like because if you put a lot of pressure, you're going to create a line that's going to be very hard to remove, right? Once that's done, we're going to start creating our guides to make it easier to erase them after. So we're using a 1 with the lever close. We're creating a guide. This guide is going to be probably a finger length, and then we're going to create another guide with a number 2. The same thing, lever close, and it's going to be another finger length. That's all we're doing. Okay, once that's done, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be erasing those guides right away. So we're going to start machine with a lever open, and we're going to start closing that lever little by little. That's all we're going to do. We start lever open, we close it little by little, we close it little by little, and as we close the lever, we're not going to go as high on our guide, and we're just going to play with the lever until that line is completely erased. Now we're going to follow the same exact system that we're using. So we're going to erase the number 1 into the 2. So now we're going to use a number 1 with the lever open. We're going to start working on that guide, and then what we're going to do, little by little, we're going to start closing that lever or moving that lever up until you erase that line. That's all we're doing. We're doing guide by guide, 1 by 1, and then we raise the first one. There's the skin line, which is the hardest, and then now we're raising number 2 with using the number 1 with the lever open, and then little by little we're going to close it, and that's it. Once you're done with that, we're going to be using number 3, lever open and lever closing. All we're going to be doing is retouching, right? Because remember, we already used the number 3 to remove all the bulk. So pretty much all we have now is like most likely the dark spots or a lot of bulk that we need to remove. So we're just gonna go ahead and go really quick with the steps, and in this case will be my number 3, lever open, then lever close, and now we're going to start down fading. So now we're going to go with number 2, lever open, then lever close, then a 1.5 if you have it. If you don't have it, you can jump to the 1, but if you have a 1.5, use the 1.5. Same process, lever open, then close. And then we're going to be doing the same thing with a 1, lever open, lever close. Then after the 1, you will be doing a 1/16 or a half if you have it. If you don't have it, then you can jump to the machine open. But if you have the 1/16, use the 1/16 to just continue shaping whatever you need to do, and then until you are done with all the guards. And now once it's done, then we're going to be shaping up the client. In my case, I like to do everything very natural. Just the clientele that I have don't get a lot of color, don't get a lot of super sharp lines. The area where I'm at is, a lot of business men, so they tend to be a little bit more classic with the haircuts. So that's why I'm not gonna put any color or any of that, right? Once I'm done, I'm just gonna put a little bit of product, something a little bit more dry to give it that nice dry look. And that's it. Well, I'm gonna show you guys how it looked before and how it looks now. How you can see it looks great, super clean, enough weight to complement the waistline, the head shape that he has, create enough that. And you can see it goes very well. It styles very nicely because we left the square shape to be able to style everywhere. And that's it, guys. That is the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and like it if you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.